He's going to do it. We'll do it together.
What are you doing?
All right, we're opening up now. This is GAAS, the Great American Auto Scene. We're coming to you live from SEMA, and we are in the Quarter Mile Foundation booth. And I'm showing you a little bit of that now. Yes, it is backwards because right now the phone is facing Randy and I.
That's right.
And that's right. No, left.
Left.
The right is
I'm
left.
Right of your left.
Right is left. See? Look at Tracy. That's Tracy. See? There's Tracy.
That's it.
And look at this. Don Garlits. That's right. All right, we're starting to get some people watching us now, so it's going to start. Well, look at all the look at it. They're all going in there. Look at they're going. Michael Halstead, funny car driver, and so forth. So Don Gady Radican Safford. Remember him?
Yeah,
well, he's watching. Don's watching right now. So all right, we're going to turn this around. I'm going to let Randy become the cameraman.
I'm always the cameraman. I'm always the cameraman.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. All right, so we're here with Don Garlits. Don, how's it been going here at SEMA this year?
I'll tell you, I hadn't been here in about 4 years, and it's the biggest crowd I've ever seen in my life. It's been nonstop for 2 days. I got here Tuesday morning, and I stayed all day, and I've been here all day today, Wednesday, and it's just been fantastic, especially I've seen so many of my old friends, I just can't count them all.
Yeah, Rod Hope just left, and you've been selling your book. Tell us about that.
Well, this is the third printing of Don and His Cars. This is a brand new edition, and this goes all the way into Swamp Rat 38 and the 189 mile an hour record run for that car. It's our brand new electric dragster, and it is here at SEMA. It's in the South Hall up on the second floor. There was a display up there called SEMA Electric, and that's where it's at. And I'm down here, though, in the 1320 booth because I'm trying to sell this book, and this is where the traffic is.
All right, so we're here, and Tracy Rudkin's keeping this alive. She's talking to a lot of people, recording a lot of interviews with people such as yourself that made the history, made the sport what it is today. Without you guys doing what you did, we wouldn't be drag racing the way we are today. Now, what do you think? They knocked it down to 1,000 foot a number of years ago. What's your feeling on that? Because you haven't raced for a while.
Well, I like quarter mile racing. We raced some 1,000-foot tracks where they didn't have enough length, but we always liked quarter mile because you could go faster, and we always wanted to go as fast as we could go. Now, when they did the 1,000-foot, it was a stopgap measure until they could get the engines calmed down. It was only going to be for the remainder of that year. They're going to have a meeting with the crew chiefs, and they were going to decide how to do it. Well, the crew chiefs was the last. That's like having a meeting with the foxes to figure out how to stop the foxes from eating the chickens out of the chicken house.
Yeah.
I mean, the crew chiefs was about going fast, not about slowing them down. It was the NHRA that should have just made some new rules and said, this is how it is, boys. There ain't no way out. We don't want to go 350 miles an hour in a quarter mile. The fact of the matter is they would go faster than that now, the way the cars are set up, if they turned them loose. But they should have just slowed them down. Now, I have heard a rumor, just a rumor now, unsubstantiated, that they are going to go back to quarter mile racing and slow these cars down.
Well, how do you think the fans are going to feel about that? I know a lot of the fans have been clamoring to go back to quarter mile, and a lot of the drivers don't want to, but at this point, if they slow the cars down, what are the fans going to feel about that? Because, all right, you're running a quarter mile, but you're going slower.
I personally don't think the speed has anything to do with the excitement of the race. The race is way too short at 3.7 seconds. It needs to be a little longer, at least 4 seconds, and that's where they should be. And that takes quarter mile racing. There's no difference in the actual look of a car going 300 or 350 at the end of the run. The scoreboards are the worst things that ever happened because I put the speeds up there, and that the people actually take their eyes off of the cars in the race and look at the scoreboard. So anyway, it would work. The people like to have a nice side-by-side race, and that's what they like to see. And it needs to be the same distance as everybody else is running, which would be quarter mile. And there was only a couple of tracks that were real short, and if they had to, they could let those still stay 1,000 feet. But if they slow these cars down to around 300, 310 miles an hour in the quarter mile, they would be just fine. The drivers, I can understand why they might like it because some of them, I guess, aren't too comfortable in these cars, and so if they're in there only 3.7 seconds, I guess they like that better than being in there 4 seconds. It's like, how long do you want to sit in the electric chair, right?
Yeah. You're driving an explosion on wheels.
Oh, it's a bomb. It literally is. And we got to think about something else about these explosions. Let me get into that just a minute. This is one of the reasons that they don't slow the cars down. The engines are so good, and the manufacturers have made such bulletproof parts. If they took the horsepower out of these 11,500 horse engines and slowed them down like to, say, 8,000 horse, there'd be no more explosions. And this would not be good for television.
Yeah.
Television loves violence. Just for a minute, imagine there'd be no more wrecks at the Daytona 500. Would anybody be interested in watching it?
No, it's boring to the spectators.
A good friend of mine said this. He says, Don, I don't want to see them wreck, but I know they're going to, and I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes of a NASCAR race is what everyone wants to watch, because that's when the accidents really happen.
Yeah, that's right. So what they got to do, that is why NHRA has not done anything at this point, because they don't want to give up the television. And it's not the television for the sponsors of the cars, which is important. It's the television sponsorship of the events. Every big event has got a great big fancy name tagged on it, which is tremendous money, more than they make probably even from the admissions. And so this is why they want it. Every other breath out of the announcer's mouth is, oh, this is the Chevrolet U.S. Nationals, or this is the Amalie this or that. And that's what it's all about. See, I personally would rather see the television go away and have nice racing. Because here's another thing that would happen when they slowed these engines down. The little guys would now have a chance, because it wouldn't be a point of who can blow the engine up. It'd be who can get the most traction with what they've given them to run with. And so it would level the playing field quite a bit. And that would put more fuel dragsters in the field.
Well, how about if they went back to a simpler block, more like what you initially started running? You could get an engine out of a junkyard and have it torn down and ready to go for the next round of racing.
Well, we've went way beyond that. There ain't enough of those kind of blocks out there anymore. The parts are fine like they have, and that what they need off of them is the great big fancy blowers and the great big 100-gallon a minute fuel pumps. Those are the two things that need to go away, and they'd be right back to square one, and they'd be in good shape.
All right, Don, if you could go back racing again, besides with your electric car, would you go back into a fuel car?
If they made these rule changes where a person could run these events and have a couple of engines and go all year, that it would be great. Might think about it.
All right, well, it's good. Don Garlits here at SEMA 2019 in the Quarter Mile Foundation booth with Tracy Rutgers sitting hiding over there smiling. And I'm Hot Rod. There she goes. I'm Hot Rod Bob along with Randy Kerdoon, KNX 1070, and talking about cars and gas, the Great American Auto Scene. We'll talk to you later on live. And so what? They're closing it up with a burn-off. There we go. All right, so we got to leave. It's 5 p.m. The show is over. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, Don, very much.